Just as these horoscopes are published, you have hours left to choose your tuition rate, as low as just $5 a class, to learn from these incredible astrologers at synchronicityuniversity.com. Programs are starting the first week of January. You want to get in on this now. Brilliant astrologers like Cameron Allen, Stormy Grace, and all these other incredible people you see here. Join us at synchronicityuniversity.com. Learn more, sign up now. Links are in the description below. Hello, fabulous superstar Sagittarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of January 2023. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. Boy, is this a very special time. Well, one of the big occurrences this month to take place actually happens just before the month begins. On New Year's Eve, your ruling planet Jupiter goes direct. This is powerful and empowered energy now that helps you to feel as if something within you, after being stagnant for the last few months, now is starting to understand and move forward. Now, this forward move of Jupiter is taking place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with your daily life. This is about your work and the people who surround you there, how much you feel there are work-related opportunities. And it also speaks to your health as well and how well you take care of you. Jupiter moving forward here can help you to find answers, help you to understand, but also uncover something more, something better. Now, that could be better work-related opportunities, better relationships with clients and customers and coworkers, and a sense of feeling like you're in your zone and doing what you do really well. But it is with your health that you might find a wonderful improvement, whether that comes about through being able to access or understand the best course of medications for you, whether that comes about through making small changes to your daily habits, including your eating habits. You will likely experience an improved sense of well-being navigating forward from here as you enter a brand new year, including the motivation to experience better health as well. Now, the following day on January 1st is when Mercury goes direct in your sign. This is huge. Mercury going direct in your sign makes some matter very near and dear to you more clear. Now, it's not as clear as I would like to see, and you would normally see with Mercury going direct. And that's because Mercury is within orb of hanging tight a conversation of tension with Neptune. So it may take a few days to really feel like, okay, Mercury retrograde's over for good now for you, but you will get there. So pace yourself and be yourself at this time. But no, as that new year begins and a new month begins, it's going to be like a click where you see things very differently, very quickly, as part of understanding yourself, who you really are, what matters to you most, and what matters to you first. That truth actually may take you aback, especially if it is that recent events had you not feeling as connected to that or behaving in a way where you were not as connected to that truth. It will be on the 27th of the month that Uranus will go direct. And this direct motion is happening in the same part of the sky that we had Jupiter go direct in just before the month began. That daily part of your sky having to do with your work and the places you frequent every day and how well you take care of you. Uranus, though, is a very different energy than Jupiter. Uranus brings surprise, but also a leap into the future. If ever there was cold turkey energy for the Sagittarius out there, this really would be it. Seeing a health-related matter differently and quickly going another way. Seeing a matter having to do with your workplace or the type of work you're doing, or a client or customer or coworker, and making a split second, in some cases, decision to do things very differently. Regardless, though, there's an energy here of truth and authenticity, an energy here that is saying, trust your life, but also honor your truth as you move through your life so that you can live in a way that feels more authentic and feels more in alignment with the future you are leaping towards now. Once Uranus goes direct, all major planets will be direct until the 1st of April. And so it's going to feel like all systems go, all systems forward for a lot of us out there. This is a massively important shift of energy where it's almost like we're done contemplating what was, and instead we're ready to take action and move forward. And this certainly is true for you as well, especially with Mercury going direct in your sign. That clarity that you come to find within yourself about yourself now is going to help you to feel like you know some truth about you, and it could change everything. The fact that your lived experience, your life is going through changes now, fuels that newfound sense of whom it is that you know yourself to be. We have important lunar events happening this month as well. Of course, as always, we have a new moon and a full moon. The new moon takes place on the 11th of the month, and it is happening in a financial part of the sky. Now, this new moon is not far away from Pluto, so there is a certain focus and intensity at this time. However, we have beautiful connections being made, which does suggest that you are making progress moving towards greater prosperity as you define it, and leaping towards healthy self-love and self-esteem as well. And so these beautiful alignments include a supremely harmonious alignment with Uranus. I love this energy for you. As I just said, Uranus in a part of the sky having to do with your work. If you're looking for more work-related opportunities that bring in more money, this is wonderful energy to tap into. But I do think that an opportunity could show up very much by surprise. You'll have to respond very quickly. And as you do, you will find yourself feeling that much more in alignment with more abundance. We also have a harmonious connection with Neptune as well. Now that could just be a principle of hope, of belief, which is a beautiful thing, which can get you really far as well. If you have a home-based business or you work with homes, these energies end up working together that much more, helping you to move towards more rewarding work, but especially more prosperity under the light of this new moon. It will be on the 25th of the month that we will have this month's full moon. This full moon takes place in fellow fire sign Leo, a worldly part of your sky, having to do with long distance travel, immigration, citizenship, higher learning, legal matters, and also the personal beliefs that help you to make sense of the world and guide your life. This full moon is an interesting one. Full moons tend to bring things to culmination and conclusion. It helps us to recognize an emotional truth. This becomes especially true in such a subjective house, a part of the sky for you that is so rooted in your own orientation towards the world and what you believe about it. Pluto is standing across the sky from this full moon, and that adds to it a measure of intensity and desire and a sense of, to be very honest with you, and I'm so sorry to say, but it might feel like things related to these areas I just mentioned are transpiring in a way that doesn't feel very fair. That feels as if you wish you had more power. There could be power struggles and power games playing out now. But at least it is this full moon that helps you to bring certain matters, perhaps ongoing or long going, to some type of conclusion now. And so if it is that you are involved in a matter having to do with immigration or citizenship and you're trying to make progress there, you may get some developments now that help you to appreciate what you can do and what maybe you might need to turn over as part of trusting that you will be where it is that you are supposed to be. Now, if the answer seems favorable to you and it's exactly what you wanted, that's great. But again, there is still that intensity factor there, and there's still that need to practice faith and acceptance that says you will be where you are supposed to be. If it is that you are addressing a matter related to an institute of higher learning, so maybe you're a student or you want to be a student, or maybe you work within a university, for example, it might be now that you feel that there are developments taking place, factors playing out that don't feel very fair in some way. Now, you may have a route to take some recourse, and you might be able to figure out, navigating this time, how to garner some power so that you can at least move through outcomes more favorable to you. But there is going to be an element there that says you may have to acknowledge the limits of your power as well, do your best and surrender the rest. And the same becomes true in a legal matter. This is a full moon. Full moons bring things to culmination and conclusion. And if it is now that you are in an ongoing legal matter, things could reach a conclusion now, which in and of itself is great. But it looks like there's some final push. It looks like there's an element there that you feel isn't completely fair, or some power that feels bigger than you. Pace yourself and be yourself at this time. The opportunity to move towards a conclusion that frees your energy in and of itself is a blessing. But if it is that you feel the conclusion doesn't work for you, you'll get to figure out whether or not there are next steps for you. Now, more personally, you might find your own beliefs challenged in some way, depending on how you feel about that. If you're going to share something, for example, on social media, you may want to be mindful, just because you could evoke or provoke particularly strong reactions. That may or may not be what you're going for. If you're going for that, well, yeah, this energy will help you. But if you're really not going for that, this could be an uncomfortable moment with not a lot of consequence anyways. Outside of that, though, if you know that sharing certain opinions and being read by certain people, like, for example, bosses or something, would not be good for you or favorable to you, then you may want to consider a more measured way of sharing whatever it is that you desire to share. So pace yourself and be yourself at this time, knowing that the best is yet to be and will follow, and you will be where it is, literally and figuratively, exactly where you are meant to be. Now, where it comes to matters of love, I think there are some key factors playing out that make the very beginning of the month especially important for you. So one is that Mercury, the ruling planet of your opposite sign, is in your sign and goes direct. So that alone is huge. That direct motion speaks so powerfully to a sense of seeing where you are in love differently, but feeling it very personally as well. And then we have Venus in your sign. And even though Venus will be there till the 23rd of the month, it is going to be right out of the gate at the very beginning of the month on the 1st, the same day that Mercury goes direct, that Venus will square Saturn. That is energy that can feel tricky. It can feel uncertain. That is energy that can feel as if what you want in love is being withheld, or is restricted to you, or is in some way cold and distant. And that's not a nice feeling, I know. Regardless, though, understand that right out of the gate, you might not be seeing matters of love as optimistically as they might deserve, or even as clearly as well. Remember, I said Mercury is hanging tight, a square to Neptune. So that is a sense of not seeing things necessarily as accurately. And then you add the pessimism of a Saturn square to Venus. May not be the time for big life-altering decisions in the context of love, although it's always up to you to decide what's right for you to do in light of your unique circumstances. But again, Venus will be in your sign till the 23rd. And so that alone makes you a magnet. That alone ensures that there will be lots of moments to understand love in a more loving way, in a more generous way, as you navigate through most of this month. So for those of you open to meeting someone new, as you're beginning the month, there might be some pessimism there. There might be a sense of reflecting on what was, what no longer is. and feeling as if perhaps there's a little bit of a feeling that you wish things were different. It's not a good feeling, but again, it just might be the pessimism of the moment and of the time. So pace yourself a little bit at this time. Now, ultimately, you are moving in a direction of finding a renewed sense of lovability and openness to love than you knew before. And so trust the journey. 23 days of this month are dedicated to that journey of you understanding love and owning your not only worthiness, but owning the ability to attract, not just move towards, but knowing that love can be for you. And when it's right, it can come together. Now, for those of you just starting to date someone, it's either going to be the energy of pessimism or an energy of healthy pacing that could happen for you at this time. And so it might be that you're not seeing things very clearly. You're feeling a sense of not seeing the bond or the connection or the possibility very optimistically. You're more aware of what isn't feeling like it has potential rather than what does. That's one possibility. But it might also be needing to accept some difficult truth about your connection to this person and what's really going on. But making that distinction isn't going to be as clear cut as you might think. You will have to pace yourself just a little bit. Allow yourself a few days as you navigate just a little further into the month so you know which is which. At the same time, though, it could be that you are wanting more or this other person is wanting more. But there's this overall sense of some restriction or needing to pace yourself, even if it's hard. And so whether it's you or whether it's them, this different sense of how far you should be going, how fast you should be going, how close you should be getting, and when, you may not necessarily feel on the same page, but ultimately it's up to you to decide. But of course, you want to strive to be in your truth as you navigate this time of understanding whether or not this is someone to navigate forward with. And for those of you in an established bond, there can be a sense now of awareness around the sacrifices that have been made, or maybe those that are being made right now. That's not always a fun energy to consider. There might also be a perception of thinking about the long term and what needs to be sacrificed now to get you there. These are the more ideal situations, especially if you know you're in the right relationship for you. That sense of restriction that Saturn can sometimes represent ultimately speaks to a sacrifice that is very willingly taken on to strengthen the love you share. But if it is that you've had doubts as to whether or not you're in the right relationship for you, all of that will stir very strongly right out of the gate. There likely are going to be some real questions that you have for yourself as part of understanding whether or not you want to navigate further how it is that the two of you got here and what it's going to mean, especially in the context of starting a brand new year. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It is a valuable and meaningful astrological moment. I am going to say, I love the energy of your ruling planet Jupiter going direct, and it's going direct in a part of the sky for you that has to do with your daily life. And so your lived experience, your life is about to feel a lot better. It's about to feel as if you're able to engage it moment to moment as you move through the small moments of your life, finding genuine joy there. That joy creates an incredible momentum, helping you to enter a brand new year with a certain happiness, knowing that you are truly living life on your own terms. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership Rate at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com, where you get expanded exclusive horoscopes, access to a monthly live party event online. Higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are in the description below. Thank you for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.